Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Neil with Portal to Ascension. Good to be here with you all and to be tuning in. Today is a short but quick video. I'm gonna be going live over the next few days, and we're gonna be doing some amazing content, guys, over the next few days. So this is the first of a series of me waking up early. This is early morning in Thailand here. I'm here in Thailand, and today's topic is why has extraterrestrial and UFO disclosure not happened? And I want to have some feedback and some comments because I'm sure a lot of you guys have some of your own opinions, right? So if you could let us know what you feel as I'm sharing the content today or as I'm sharing the information. But really quick, a few announcements. So the information that's going to be coming over the next few days, in 2 days from now, okay, and this one is something that's close to my heart. I've been waiting for, I would say, I'll be waiting for years to do this, is a reptilian series. We're going to go live on the 20th, the 21st, the 23rd, and we're going to be doing a reptilian series, and you can look on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/portal to ascension. Check it out there. We have reptilians and the shadow work, reptilians good, neutral, or bad, and we have one called the Scars of Orion. The Scars of Orion one's going to be talking about what happened in Orion, the genetic wars, the DNA wars that happened there, and the connection to the reptilians and the serpentine beings. So that is going to happen all over on the YouTube channel for 3 days in a row. And then also, I'm going to be going live on the difference between interdimensional extraterrestrials. We're going to have a UFO disclosure update, some really cool things. But today, as you can see, it's why has ET disclosure, UFO disclosure not happened? And I see a comment in the room right now. Disclosure will happen divine timing. Everything happens divine timing, and also in this world is the world of action where we can make things occur at the same time as well. And then paradoxically, that is the divine timing, right? So obviously, a lot of you guys already know that there's been a huge push in the last few years since 2016, making this really a relevant topic, going from ridiculing it to considering it as something that is real and looking into it. And there seems to be kind of like a battle behind the scenes with those that want to disclose information and those that don't. So the question is, why is there such an exerted effort for others to make the world know or feel that we are alone in the universe, or to demonize those beings? And I'm going to pull up my presentation in just a second and go over some of this stream is not really just about why has it not happened. It's more about the solution. That's kind of just like the introduction to it. It's about what types of institutions on earth will be shifting from this awareness becoming the norm, because it is going to become the norm soon. On Instagram, I just posted a couple of days ago this article from the talking about the Vatican, and the Vatican are now coming up with rules and guidelines on how to interact and deal with apparitions and the supernatural world. Right. First of all, my comment in there was they're always shifting with the times, trying to remain relevant. Right. That's just saying it lightly. It goes deeper into that. But a lot of institutions, including them, are preparing for inevitability of what is going to happen on the planet pretty soon. The paranormal is going to become normal. The supernatural is going to become natural, because we live in this quantum reality. You and I, we're not physically here. We are now being able to prove that. However, it's paradoxical because we are physically here, we're having this interaction, this experience, but at the same time, we're pure energy made out of all energy around us. And within that, therein lies the illusion. There is the ability to manipulate this reality in the ways that we see that can benefit all of humanity. And as we're knowing this, we're realizing that that other world, that supernatural world, even like UFOs and extraterrestrial craft and light ships, are all a part of the diverse abilities of creation to manifest itself, right? So we're going to get into the presentation now, but I'm just going to firstly show you guys a trailer, quick event announcement that we're going to be doing, and you can see here at the bottom. I'm going to pull this up. We do a lot of events at Portal to Ascension, done thousands of events at this point, but something that I'm really, really excited about, first time event, is that we're going to take 200 people on a cruise line. It fits 2,000 people, but we're going to have our own conference room on this cruise line, leaving out of Orlando area, Florida, going to the Honduras, going to Belize, going to Mexico, Yucatan, December 14th to the 21st. GalacticOriginsCruise.com. Okay, we're gonna be. It's gonna be amazing. We end on the winter solstice, so we're doing like a worldwide peace meditation on the solstice. But we have some incredible speakers there as well, workshops, events, musicians. So I'm gonna play the trailer, and then we'll get into talking about why has ET and UFO disclosure not happened. Here we go.
This year, on board Celebrity Equinox, internationally renowned researchers, authors, channelers, mystics, starseeds, and spiritual luminaries will sail on an extraordinary voyage of transformation in this one-of-a-kind Galactic Origins cruise. Voyage into the ancient Mayan land. Explore the latest cosmic revelations. Learn about our galactic heritage. Rediscover the hidden wisdom and Earth's true history as and transformation unlike any other. Reserve your place today before it's too late.
All right, I think the video might have skipped for a second there, but galacticoriginscruise.com if you want to learn more. And if you're new to Portal to Ascension, subscribe, portaltoascension.org. Hundreds of hours of content there. Check it out as well. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. I'll pull up my presentation. All right, so this is a presentation from another presentation I did where it has those components in there. So I'm just kind of like going into this one here. So, I mean, I guess it's so layered, right? And I see some comments coming in about what your opinions are, and for sure, you have the military. It's been so the secret has gone on for so long and it's so compartmentalized, and so many people have benefited not only from the technology of this, but just like the secrets and that at this point, in order to really disclose and let everybody know what's been happening behind the scenes, the rabbit hole goes so deep and the lies are so deep as well that many people with behind the scenes, many people in the DoD, the military industrial complex, are frantically trying to keep this secret from getting out, because if the world knew the level of lies and manipulation, one, that's just the beginning phase. But if the world knew the level of technology that exists and have existed for quite some time, including possible technologies to help heal many ailments that people are dying from, and to even avoid cataclysms and catastrophes that have happened over the world, what would it make people feel? And that is, when I first woke up, I woke up and I was very angry and upset, and I was full of looking into the conspiracies. And I spent like 8 years in that fear state. Not everybody has to do that at this point. A lot of people are waking up quicker, but most of the world is not awake to this greater picture of who we are, where we come from, or not even taking the time to really even think and contemplate what is our role in the universe, why are we incarnated here, right? And as these lies and manipulation are coming, there's been a lot of frustration and anger and people demanding some truth. And then other people that are so consumed with the system and the matrix that has been created for us that it's almost impossible for them to even think about something outside of like, oh yeah, did you see that news article, or did you see that CNN was talking about UFOs? Okay, well, now back to our jobs, because the system has been created in such a way that people are just falling in line. But it's being rocked up and shook up. This stuff is coming out, and a lot of people in government, right, some of them are on the end of, well, I thought we had top secret clearance. We're supposed to know everything. Are you telling me there's something that we don't know? and then they're going and they're trying to get this information from the places that supposedly have it, and then they're being turned away. And maybe their ego is being hurt on some level because they are realizing, even politicians are realizing, that the corrupt system that they're a part of isn't even working for them in the way that they thought, right? So there's lots of chaos right now. In about a couple of weeks, we're going to do a UFO disclosure update showing some videos and articles on what's been going on, because even though it's not hardcore out there like it was in the last few years, it's things are occurring every single day almost, behind the scenes on it, and we're going to do an update on that. So what are some of the institutions here? I just want to kind of go over these, and I want your opinions and your what you feel as well. So in my opinion, these are some of the institutions that are going to be shifting from, or would be shifted from, the disclosure of the fact that we're not alone in the universe, but the bigger picture of what that means, how we're connected through them through ancestry. So let's go through them. First of all, the education system, right? The education system is created in a way just to create people in order to go into the workforce for the most part. And not only would the education system shift in regards to what we are being taught and our own sovereignty and how that connects, because most schools and institutions don't really aren't really about sovereignty. It's about being followers, unless you go to some school that helps you become a leader. And then the education system as well would be backing the fact that, what is the universe? The real questions, right? The real questions of what it takes to be a human and where we come from. So the education system would be shifting from this awareness, from the disclosure. The economic system, right? This system has been created in a way where we went from bartering to monetizing the economy. And if you look at any of the presentations with Michael Tellinger, we have a few on Portal to Ascension on our website, you can see that there was almost an implementation. It was not a gradual shift from bartering and an evolution into the monetary system. There was an implementation, an imposition of that. Now, this system has been created in a way where we've had obviously backing of the petrodollar, and which has connected our currency in the US, which is shifting now with different world powers taking away the petrodollar and going into something else, has been completely connected to the energy industry. Our economy has been connected to the energy industry, two industries that are deeply connected to the fact that we're being visited by extraterrestrials and the craft that they're utilizing. First of all, with the technology that we have on this planet, we could go way further into the future if the monetary system was shifted from the way it is currently. A great example of this is, for example, like the Apple iPhone. They have the phones ready. They know exactly what phone they're going to be doing in 3 years, in 4 years from now. Many other businesses and institutions also know that. They know the next update, what the next update's going to be. And it takes a few years to get to a technology that they currently already have. AI is a great example of that. AI on this level that's out for us publicly now has been utilized by governments and world powers for quite some time. So they're using, so because of the monetary system the way it is and the way capitalism is structured, technology that's available now, we don't get to see for years into the future, right? So even though we're getting more advanced, we're learning things and discovering things, because of the economy, the way it's structured, we're being stunted at our growth. That's just on the mainstream. Okay, that's just what we see. Not to mention the UFO craft that has been reverse engineered for over 70 years, maybe even longer, in which they have technology from some whistleblower claims to go to the end of our solar system, and we even have craft out there, right? So that is one of the platforms and systems as well that they have a chokehold on, right? There's this chokehold. And what we're doing now is we're speaking about the 3D kind of reality that we're in and the systems that would shift if we were to have disclosure on a full disclosure level, that something we'd have to deal with and implement as a society. Next one, healthcare system. Okay. Cures for illnesses, sicknesses, diseases, frequency technology. Many of this stuff exists or is coming into the mainstream now, but isn't even at the level of what actually exists or what technology that these beings have. Okay, let's just lay down some facts here based on what's coming out with disclosure. All there's been a reverse engineered UFO program. Robert Bigelow has admitted it. Government officials have admitted it. There was a whole congressional hearing about it, and people like myself and others, like Clifford Stone, who's been on our platform many times, has been talking about this for quite a while. That there has been a crash retrieval program where they've been getting technology. Some of the technology seemed to be gifted to them and just left there, and they've been reverse engineering this technology. And not only have they been finding technology that is like anti-gravity technology and propulsion technology, but there's also other technology connected to it in regards to healing and healthcare in general. So what is another system? Okay, what do we have mentioned here? We mentioned education. Huge chokehold on reality and society. The education system is how we create slaves in this matrix. The economy system, well, creating an economy where you're just part of that rat race. The education system takes you into the economy. Now you're just feeding the system that they've created, and it's very challenging to break free from it, because then if you do break free from it, you forego the comforts that we're used to and that we want in society. Healthcare system. Don't even get me started on big pharma and what's happened in the last few years as well, plus so much more than that. Healthcare system is not about healing. It's about maintaining sickness in order for people to continue feeding the economy that's based on the fact that it needs a constant influx of income, constant influx of money in order to sustain. What benefit does anyone get within these businesses, corporations, to give you a pill, will give you some sort of frequency technology, you're now healed, and you no longer need the services from that, right? There is no benefit to the system the way it's created. So the disclosure of UFOs and ETs, these are all eventual things that will shift the power structure on the planet. And ultimately, where is the power going to go? Okay, to us. We're moving away from the sovereign of England, the sovereign of whatever country, right, to reclaiming our sovereignty and realizing we are our own sovereigns. And these systems will shift in order to basically eventually create a world where we can all be sovereign beings. Government has been created in a way, getting into political system now, where they feel that we need the government in order to basically survive, and without government there'll be chaos, right? In a system where we reclaim our sovereignty, in a system where we work out our triggers, our traumas, self improvement, really understand why we do what we do, where it comes from, why we get triggered, and we have tools and platforms and systems implemented to support that, right? We can become the sovereigns where we don't need government in the way it is now. We can have facilitators, we can have supporters, but the hierarchy element, that is a third dimensional Kali Yuga reality, the hierarchy element. Shifting from the hierarchy into realizing that we're all equals, but we all play different roles to help support our fellow humans. Political system, collaborated decision making. What I put in here is like the things that could happen, the solution. So in the political system, of course, we've been speaking about it. The education, economy, and the healthcare system is all connected to the political system. It's all connected to the hierarchy. We've existed in this age where it's been very hierarchical. We see people as overseers, people above us, this authority. And what is happening now as we shift from the Kali Yuga to the Dwapara Yuga is that hierarchy as we know it is crumbling. And part of that crumbling is losing our faith in those that claim to rule us. Now, I'm asking you this. Have you noticed maybe in the last 20, maybe last 30 years, almost an exponential crumbling of the faith of the political system? If you look at even one side over another side, when it comes to the US politics, for example, even those that choose specific sides, a lot of people, not everyone, of course, choose it reluctantly and believe they're choosing the lesser of two evils. So it's getting to a point where we're in this in between, we're in this transitionary phase. And part of that transitionary phase is losing faith or realizing that the old system no longer supports us, or maybe never supported us in the first place, but we were manipulated into thinking that it was working, right? I'm sure some places in the world it does work. I've seen it myself. So that is also another system and institution, this chokehold, this claim for power and hierarchy. Environmental stewardship. Some of these technologies that are out there can help clean out airs, clean out skies, no need for trails in the skies, no need for polluted water, and ability to convert salt water into clean drinking water in a very efficient, very quick manner rather than how much it takes right now, and taking care of our planet and eliminating the pollution, right? Giving back to this planet. So we also see these corporations that connected with companies that basically destroy our planet. We've got to a point where corporations in general, right? We're in a corporations in general seem to own governments in the world, right? So if you've done Economy 101, what do they teach you about corporations? They say that the bottom line and the first people that corporations are held accountable to are the shareholders, okay? Why are they accountable to the shareholders? And the shareholders a lot of times are these politicians and these governments too. They're accountable to them because they want to pay them dividends, give them money. It's all about making money. It's all about the bottom line. And the environmental stewardship is takes a back burner. And now we see this whole global warming shift where people are saying like, oh, we need to take care of the planet, we're destroying it. Even that's been hijacked and completely taking us down the wrong route, where certain industries and organizations can pollute the world. And just when it benefits them, they go ahead and get behind things like climate change and things like that. So it's been a lot of these things, even the movements to help us understand and heal these things get hijacked very quickly. And that's a whole other podcast in itself, a whole other stream. So taking care of the planet, the technology exists right now to do so, but it's not, it doesn't make money to, like, this is saying it very simply because there's a deeper kind of cabal energy beyond this. There's extraterrestrial energy, there's low astral entity energy, there's all these other things connected to it. This is how it manifests in the world. So it doesn't make sense for them in order to take care of the planet because they don't see how it's going to benefit them in the bottom line for most corporations. Okay. Technology and artificial intelligence. Well, we've been speaking about technology the whole time here when it comes to the healthcare system and when it comes to anti-gravity, our ability to traverse the cosmos, all these technologies. If it came out and we were able to do these type of things, right? The control of the people within the borders and having to do this in order to go to this country, needing a visa to go here, all these loopholes that we need to jump through just to be able to explore our own planet. And then the fears that are implemented in that, like, oh, we got to make sure that you're okay because you might be part of a terror organization, things like that. And then not only are they saying that, but also contributing towards these organizations and these terror organizations manifesting in the first place, right? It's almost like they're working both sides. They're creating the what they would consider the evils in the world, and then they're taking away more privacy in order to combat the evil that they were responsible in creating, right? And then we get into this perpetuated downward spiral system where many people are fearful and give up their rights because they feel that they need to be protected by their authority figures, right? Which is very interesting because it's truly like a daddy figure kind of thing. Like the father, the government represents the father, and a lot of us have abandonment issues when it comes to a father, when it comes to the political father I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So another institution there, the technology institution, and artificial intelligence. I'm not going to get into that here. We'll do a different show just on artificial intelligence. Energy systems. Okay. Like Alan Steinfeld likes to say, they're not using petrol to get here. Anti-gravity isn't using propulsion in order to levitate. The way we use the way we're polluting our planet, the technology we're using right now is very archaic. So this energy technology has been around for a while. So many other institutions and have evolved, but it hasn't when it comes to this. The amount of energy that we use in a rocket in order to take it and blast out into space is insane. But there's systems that already exist that have been reverse engineered and owned by corporations and governments that are literally way less destructive or not destructive at all, literally leave no footprint, and use the laws of quantum physics, not physics, because propulsion, petrol, and all that stuff, burning and exploding and moving forward, is based on physics, Newtonian physics. But technology is based on the quantum world, the paradoxical reality of quantum physics. That technology has been used and is being used by not only these craft that are visiting us, but the reverse engineered technology. The energy system as we know it will shift. Plus, now let's talk about power and electricity. So many people in the world go without power and electricity. Even some countries that are fairly developing and doing pretty well, a lot of those villages go without power for a certain amount of time. First of all, the way the power is created is non-sustainable within those, non-sustainable and creates a lot of pollution anyway. The electricity, the way we create electricity in the world right now, even when it comes to solar power, even when it comes to wind power, even those aren't fully clean energies. But the clean energy exists. Free energy devices have existed in the past, and you can do a simple YouTube search. And I would make a recommendation real quick: the Y Files on YouTube. Check his video out on, it's like an hour-long video, amazing exposés on free energy devices. And he talks about over the last decade, all the people and what happened to them, which ones got taken out, if you know what I'm saying, and what kind of technologies they had. And if you're like, well, everybody's talked about free energy, but where is it? Watch this video and see what's been happening and look at those documents. There has been these systems that have been created that are able to supply power and energy to the whole world, helping with agriculture, helping create an equal playing field around the planet, which is something that is not wanted by those that claim to be in power. So the energy systems, propulsion moving to quantum technology, the energy systems, electricity moving from non-sustainable to completely real clean energy. Okay, that's even the other word they hijacked. Clean energy isn't clean. Okay, the energy power, justice. How many people get thrown into jail for hurting themselves rather than my rule of thumb is, are you hurting yourself or hurting others? If you're hurting others, maybe we need to look at it a little deeper here. And if you're hurting yourself, what are the certain mental things or traumas that you've experienced, and how can we help support you to rehabilitate you into being able to be at peace with yourself? Where does this wound come from? We're asking all the wrong questions. The privatization of prisons, the industrial system of the prison complex in the United States is huge and all over the world. So justice in general is also a system that's been used to exert power, okay, and to exert control. This is another system, as we're having disclosure, as we're moving into this new world, that can shift, because we will not even have open contact until we go down deep into the root of why we act the way we do, why we get triggered the way we do, how do we become self-aware, and how do we observe ourselves rather than becoming reactory. Okay, and all of that has to do with also the justice system and so many people being thrown into jail for things that maybe they need to be addressed on a deeper level. The tools are out there for us to be able to heal from that. The information, the books, all that stuff exists. But why isn't it implemented? Why isn't it implemented? Because just like the economy, just like the environmental stewardship, it does not feed the system that has been created for us. And a little disclaimer here, we're not a victim. We were also part of the creation of this process. We've had many lives. We've done all that. We've lived all sides of it all. And this system, call it a dark system, a darkness, has only allowed us to realize what we want. It's something I love to talk about is the darkness, and how the darkness was necessary for us in this world of amnesia to remember the light. And so now that we've had this darkness, none of this stuff is something to be angry about. All of this stuff is some things to be aware of. And now we move forward. What do we understand from this? Okay, how do we shift this? How do we create something new? And one of the biggest components here is the corruption. One of the main reasons many of these initiatives have not been implemented is due to corruption. We have created a system where the bottom line has become money and greed and just the control of the human race in general, to say it lightly and to oversimplify the actual situation. By focusing on well-being, expanding consciousness, what unites us rather than what divides us. Divide and conquer is the name of the game. Like, that's quite literal. This will be a step towards the end of a corrupt society, a step towards it. And something that has kind of been throughout almost all of these different initiatives here is the last two components: personal development and self-discovery, right? Mindfulness and conscious practices. I forget his name now, but the guy from the Israeli space chief, the guy that was responsible for the Israeli space program a few years ago, if you guys recall or heard about this, had come out and said that we have had beings visiting us, and they've been coming for a while, but they're not landing or connecting with us because humanity isn't ready. Okay, so read between the lines of what that really means. For the most part, I mean, why is it most of the UFO disclosure is all military based, all weapons based, all war based? I think a lot of these beings want to interact with war based societies, right? And why is the military behind all this? Well, because they think it's a national security threat, right? Already looking at it as a threat. There are those that aren't looking at it as a threat that are also politicians and things like that, because they're saying, oh, there's evidence for these craft visiting us for hundreds of years and they haven't done anything yet. So we have no way to think that it's a threat. But because we see many of these craft, I would say maybe the majority of them around nuclear bases, they're like, what are they trying to do to our nukes? So, but going back to the Israeli space chief, what he was saying within that, and what even Paul Hellyer, the Ministry of Defense in Canada, ex-Minister of Defense, recently passed away a few years ago, was saying is that we are not at the consciousness for open contact to be able to accept this reality with open arms. We've been in a world, you guys might have heard this, in quarantine for quite some time. We were in quarantine from the external galactic community, not as a punishment. I feel more of that. This is you need to have your experiences and go through your cycles of time. You need to go through your reset, your devolution, evolution, learn the experiences you want to learn, find out how to be awake, how to remember on your own. Earth is a journey of remembering, right now at least. How do you remember the grandness of who you really are? Go through that darkness, experience it. We're not going to help you. We're just looking to support you energetically. Please go through it. And so we've been going through this, and now we're getting to a point where we're waking up. But the only way that we're going to be able to have open contact, because I personally feel that quarantine is over. If they wanted to land now, they can land, and which is why a lot of this is coming out. And it's, another three-letter agency whistleblower recently said that the military got a memo that in 2027 they're going to land, and that they need to tell everybody and get everybody prepared for it, because they're going to make it happen no matter what, right? So the only way, why haven't they landed? If quarantine is over, why is there not open contact? Why haven't they landed, right? Well, first of all, they are landing and speaking to beings and governments even around the world, but on an open mass level, okay? And it's the level of consciousness we're at. A lot of people still have fear around it. And if you've seen any of the recent videos online of some of news anchor hosts, some of them are implementing the fundamental Christian values of beliefs onto this and believing they're demons. These UFOs are demons, right? There's a lot of fear around it. Having open contact coming here on this planet right now maybe will definitely shake up a lot of people, and all types of people will go down different routes. So there's been a slow and gradual acceptance in this world where many people are just going to have the default setting of realizing we're not alone in the universe. A lot of these institutions are shifting now in order to assist us in the personal development and self-discovery. I feel that personal development, self-discovery should almost be a mandatory part of all institutions, a place where, in all governments and all countries, a place where we can go and utilize innovative technology and psychological awareness, and go to the roots of these traumas to heal from them, because we cannot go into, stop my screen share here. We cannot go into this new world with the baggage that we've had in this world. Okay, so an analogy I use often is that we are at the middle of the event horizon, spinning around the event horizon, about to go into the wormhole, into a whole other dimension, right? Even though that's a metaphor, it's almost literal, right? It's a new octave of existence. When we get to that reality and that singularity and drop into that next reality, we can't take our baggage with us. Our baggage, our traumas, our deep wounds, our anger, all these frequencies that hold us back from accepting the bigger picture of who we are and where we came from and what else is out there in the galaxy. So going through these right now, a lot of stuff is coming to the surface for people. There's a deep collective shadow work going on. The lockdown that we experienced brought up a lot for a lot of people. And in this world of duality, you have the opportunity to be the victim or the master. Some people went down and became even deeper into the rabbit hole of not out of the rabbit hole, really. Other people started reflecting on themselves. Who am I if I'm not just my job? What am I? What really is important? These are the questions that I feel we're collectively asking. And as we're going through the shadow work, we are peeling back the layers. So to close this now, I shared a lot here, but I will say the bottom line: why has extraterrestrial UFO disclosure not happened? Well, besides all those 3D informations I gave you there, the last part of that self-awareness, the shifting of our consciousness, the healing of wounds and traumas from this life and other lives, we're deep in that process right now. The true interaction and open contact and even like trade agreements with extraterrestrials, all this stuff is going to happen, guys. Like all of this is going to happen. We're going to have open contact on this planet. We're going to be interacting with these beings. Like, just read some of the interactions on these government document websites and some of these testimonials from people. Like, the world as we know it is going to change so drastically. We got to get. We don't have to get ready for it. We are preparing for it. Okay, and part of that is doing that inner work. Yeah. So okay, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm just going to take a look at your comments here. Let's see what you guys have to say as well. Share some of this. And if you have any comments, what do you feel? What do you feel? Like, tell me, what do you feel? Why do you think it hasn't happened? And again, that's just the intro to this. It's really about showing you guys that what we can look forward to in shifting in this world, the economy, the energy systems, the equal playing field of all of us basically being able to rise with each other, supporting each other in rising. We have Upgrade 101 saying, because those in power won't start wars, they refuse to make contact when society continues to do this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's definitely one of them. No, Sharon, my name has not been changed, but I have been contemplating changing it to Arcturus, actually. Exactly. I think this is a good note to leave it on. Religion, yep. Religion is the reason why, if they did history, yeah, that's why I spoke about the Vatican earlier too. Like, it's insane, guys. It's truly like this world is just like blows my mind quite often. But I'm hopeful. I like to call myself a hopeless hopeful. No matter what, like, I wouldn't be doing this work if I didn't feel that there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. And light at the end of the tunnel is a great metaphor for Earth, going through the darkness to eventually be the light. But the way we really embody the light is by not judging the darkness in the first place. Just Waking Up says, I feel like disclosure is an active verb versus set incident. And then this is what we'll close it out on. Renee Ross will close it out on your words here. Then let's create a new system. Okay? Let's create a new system together, everybody. Love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. Again, next few days, in 2 days from now, 3 days at this same time, the Reptilian series. Be there. It's going to be incredible. I got like 6 different guests. We got the Reptilians, good, bad, or neutral on the first day. We have the Scars of Orion on the second day. And then we have the Reptilians and the Shadow Work on the third day. And then after that, I'm doing what are ultra-terrestrials and interdimensionals. And then after that, we'll do a UFO disclosure update. So boom, boom, boom. We're going to have a lot of good stuff coming out. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to close out here again with the trailer for the Galactic Origins cruise. If you guys are interested in coming to the biggest and the most epic experience that we've ever created, then you should definitely come on this cruise with us, okay? And here we go. So have a beautiful evening, morning, wherever you are on the planet, and I will see you in a couple of days.
This year, on board Celebrity Equinox, internationally renowned researchers, authors, channelers, mystics, starseeds, and spiritual luminaries will sail on an extraordinary voyage of transformation in this one-of-a-kind Galactic Origins cruise. Voyage into the ancient Mayan land. Explore the latest cosmic revelations. Learn about our galactic heritage. Rediscover the hidden wisdom and Earth's true history as presented by our stellar guest speakers and teachers hailed from around the world. Exclusive offerings include engaging lectures, workshops, special events, one-on-one sessions, sacred fire ceremony, live music performances, custom-tailored excursions. And if that's not enough, how about celebrating winter solstice on December the 21st, 2024 with an extraordinary world peace meditation guided by guest speakers and teachers.